Yo, what is up, guys? Donda here. Going over trades from the 26th through today, which is August 6th, so about the past 10 days. And I want you guys to pay a lot of attention on these trades because I caught a lot of really good trades, like 400 pointers with no drawdown. So I want you guys to be able to do the same. So start off, I'll go over Monday's trade. This trade was something. So let's go. Here we had London highs being made. Here London session ends. We go up. I wake up around this time, around like 5 in the morning. And so what I already had my eyes on from the night before was for shorts off the 4-hour 21 right here. And I say the 4-hour 21 because to play off, we kind of chopped here in this 4-hour, and then what really broke it and pushed it lower was this 4-hour 21 tap here. So this 4-hour 21 brought the market down hella points, over 1,000, right? So now I'm waiting for a second tap of the 4-hour 21 because that's ideal in my head. Now, the spot where the 4-hour 21 was like not really an ideal entry for me, just because we're not in OTE of the range. See, 886 is down here, 4-hour 21 sitting like 30 points above it, which I guess it still counts as an 886 tap, but not like 886 perfectly. Now, what I can say, the reason this trade was good, the reason why shorts were good here, is because if you take a look at ES, look at the difference here. This high right here is the same high that I was just marked out on NQ. Look. This is the same high as that blue line on ES. So ES bin swept these highs off of the open from last night. All right, so there's a big SMT if this 4-hour 21 wants to play. So that's one of the things I was thinking of. But this setup just looked good because it is the second tap of the reason the market fell. Now you could say, okay, what about the daily 50? If the 4-hour 21 gets ran through, I'll wait for the daily 50. I mean the 4-hour 50, and then take the 4-hour 50 for shorts. If this didn't play, but this was one of those where it's like previously played off of it. It's the EMA played off right before market dumped 1,000 points. I'm gonna give it a shot. If it plays, it plays. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Right? So I went ahead through my limit here, and another reason I really wanted shorts wasn't just because the 4-hour 21 played the first time, but it's because my bias was already shorts. Look, we have an unfilled gap here from the open. Look, I'll go down to the 1 minute and show you. Look, market opened right here on Sunday night. Ripped. I don't even know how many points that was, like 400? Yeah, 400 points up. That shit ripped, right? It originally edged the 4-hour 21 here. 4-hour 21 was sitting like up here, but it originally kind of edged it, chopped around. Now we get up here. Also, let me show you something in the what's it called, the 4-hour time frame. Anyway, look, I'll show you once I get into this trade. So I get filled. Right, new 1-hour opens, chop around, rip up, and I get filled into this right before the new 4-hour. Literally right before the new 4-hour. Boom. Filled into it, right? Go on the 4-hour. I'm in off the 21. And now, I never throw my sells right at like a higher time frame EMA like this. I'll throw it like a couple points below, or if it's an EMA lower, I'll throw it a couple points above, just because it doesn't usually hit them to the tick every time. It'll like edge it like it is right now, and then when it goes down, this EMA will also go down and look like it hit it to the tick. Like I bet you on this right here, where it played off the 21 originally at the very top right here, I bet you the 4-hour 21 was like sitting right here and it just edged it, but it looks like it went through it. Anyway, so put my limit right there, got in at the top, and then full TP being either the start of the very start of this gap, or partial there and then full TP to fill the gap. So I like this trade because we're hitting the 4-hour 21 right here, and then new 4-hour is going to open, 4-hour reversal. Now I kind of did expect this to come up and re-sweep the high and play off the 21 on the new 4-hour, and then we dump. But instead, here's what happened. Let me see the new 4-hour. New 4-hour kills it, right? I'm floating in profit, but now I'm break even, right? If it comes back up to my entry and it re-sweeps the high and it stops me out and dumps, that's just unfortunate. But I don't want to risk any money on this trade. It's already a 1-2 right now so far. But it ends up coming up again, and here's where you could have got a re-entry on, right? Let me show you the 4-hour time frame. See, taps 4-hour 21, reject. Now you could have re-entered on the second tap of this 4-hour 21, like right here. It would just make perfect 4-hour structure. Either the 4-hour comes up, re-sweeps this high, and then we dump, or it comes up, re-taps off the 21 with OTE, and then we dump. And here's what it did. Comes up, taps 0.886 with the 4-hour 21 again. But again, look, doesn't hit it to the tick, edges it right here. Hits OTE with the 4-hour 21. And then we finally get this big move. This is what we wanted, not this chop. Come up, hit OTE, now we flush, right? So here's what happened with this trade though. Here's what I did wrong. We were dumping like very hard during pre-market, and I liked it. And then it started kind of like chopping around a little bit. And I can't remember, where was it? I don't know, I got trailed out of some of my contracts, like pretty much my whole entire, I was in 5 MNQ, but I got trailed out of like way too many on this move. And it ended up taking me out of most of my contracts, and then the trade kept going. But yeah, anyway, I'm in at the top, no drawdown, and my risk to reward is perfect because this gap is 300 points away, and I think that NQ is going to fill it. So ended up holding break even on this, smacked my first TP. I don't know why I kept my TP there. And then my full TP was the bottom right here, the very bottom of the gap. Or no, I ended up holding this to the lows. What am I talking about? I ended up holding this all the way down to the lows. It's on my TikTok and my Instagram. But this trade was beautiful. I hope you understand the bias behind it. Basically, if you don't know already, when price leaves an opening gap like this, it'll always come fill it. It might be the next day, it might be the same night it opens it, but it will always fill the gap. So your target should always be to find a spot where you think price can have a full reversal to come fill that gap, because that's where you think price is going to go every time there's a gap. So that was W. And then I ended up, what did I end up shorting here? Probably nothing good, honestly. I shorted the 100. I don't think I did that. Yeah, that's tripping. Anyway, so there was that trade on Monday. That was mint. Very good trade. And then let's go to Tuesday. Pretty sure there's a banger on Tuesday too. Yes, there was. All right, so then boom, doing whatever, price doing whatever, right? This was the whole Tuesday, I think, actually. Wait. Yeah, this is the whole Tuesday. I didn't find much Tuesday. It kind of just chopped around. It was terrible. Now this Tuesday night going into Wednesday. Mint price action. Perfect. Okay. Look. Not only did I catch these longs, and I'm gonna show you how I caught these longs. These longs weren't off of an EMA. This was just off of straight technical analysis and OTE. Okay. So first off, we get. Damn, why does it always bring me so far back? Let me go back into replay and show you this trade for trade. Here. So we're sitting here, right? It's at new 1 hour is about to happen. Price is kind of moving down, right? But I don't necessarily think it's just going to come sweep these 10 a.m. lows, right? I think OTE will for sure play in this range. Kind of because we're just moving sideways. We created this fat leg down and then bought it all back up. So there's definitely a chance OTE will play in this range. Now, I was looking for a reaction off of a OTE to try longs off of. And I was looking at the 6.2, showed a nice reaction at first, and then it just got ran through, right? And then we get to 7.05, boom. That's the reaction I want, right? Perfect reaction off 7.05. Finally get a nice bullish candle out of the OTE range. So I'm like, all right, I gotta look out for a long shot off the 7.05. Now this could have just ripped and I would have missed my entry. It would have been fine. So what I did here was I drew out my OTE like this. And I realized that 0.79 perfectly aligns with 0.705. So 0.79 of this little range aligns with 0.705 retest. I'm a low to long that shit, right? Because 0.79 is my favorite. 0.79 and 0.886 are my favorite. And then we get that aligned with the range that just shot price up. I'm like, all right, I'm looking for a retest back into OTE, and then we explode off of it. Or matter of fact, it was 0.886 that aligned with it. Yes, 0.886 that aligned with 0.705, and 7.9's down there too also. But let me show you why I entered this. So I had my fib drawn out from the low to the high, right? And then we get a, let me go into here. We get moved down. And then this candle did it for me. Right here. This candle right here, this little doji looking thing right off 0.886 on my retest long zone is the reason I pulled the trigger. So I longed it right, no. Yeah, I longed it right there. This is drawn wrong. When my stop at the 0.886 low it made, targeting the 1 minute 200 as my TP. Now, if you see, this trade ended up being phenomenal. Okay, got in on this candle, right? Now let me speed it up. Show you how the trade played out. Now, so what I could have done here, better off on my end, was instead of TPing like all 10 at the 1 minute 200, could have held that bitch to these highs. Well, not just fully held it to those highs, but partial damn near all my position right here at the 1 minute 200, and then leave runners to go sweep highs. So boom, should have taken my partial, and then full TP could have been not even just these highs, because I ping-ponged this. I caught these longs, and then I ended up shorting it up here at the 15-minute 200. See, I ended up taking these shorts. So second TP could have been all the way at the 200 if I wanted, but that's if I was being super greedy. But anyway, it would have just TP'd those highs. Bang, that's 300 points up. And then after I caught those longs, I'm like, I want to short this really bad because 15-minute 200 aligned with 0.886. Who wouldn't want to short that? All right, not only 15-minute 200, but the 1 hour 50 aligned, and I think it was the 30-minute 100. Yeah. So I got 3 higher time frame EMAs stacked up here with 0.886 with this big range. All of that sounds like straight A+ to me. So short this at the 15-minute 200, but again, I placed my limits just a little bit lower than it in case it were to edge it. And then my full TP on this was my lows that I longed at to make a upside down V-shaped reversal. Hit, and then we completely reverse down here and maybe even hold it to previous day low. But I ended up just TPing this. I didn't hold the previous day low. Anyway, it came and tagged me in literally to the tick. Basically no drawdown on this trade. This is also posted on my Instagram if you want to go look at it. And then I held this with 3 micros all the way down to the lows. So, and I'll show you how I trailed this to secure some profits in case it came back up. Once we broke here, once we broke this 1-minute 200, because my main threat on this trade was the 1-minute 50, the 1-minute 100, and the 1-minute 200 to hold this back to go higher. That was my only concern. And now once we break this 1-minute 200 and the 1-minute 50 and all this, all right, I'll go ahead and trail my stop to here. Because now for it to come back to my trail, it has to break through the 1-minute 200, all these EMAs lining up together. It's got to go through all of that to get back to here. So I ended up trailing to there and then just letting this trade go. Come back up, retest these, and then dump again. Okay, now I'm going to move my trail to this swing high. You know what I mean? Just keep trailing it to the swing highs. And I also gave a re-entry on these shorts. Told everyone who didn't get in up here, I was like, if you want to get back in, re-short 28,000. 28,000, right? So not only did I give entry up here for the Discord, second entry I gave on these shorts was at 28,000 right here. Stops could have been at this high, could have ran at this high, targeting the same TP I'm targeting, all the way down here at the lows. And I think maybe Drew got into this. Drew and maybe one other person got into this retest, and then they ate on it too. But yeah, gave another top tick during this because the 1-minute 200 got ran through, came back up. Here's the retest. I said short 28,000 because 28,000 is a psych level, and I'm pretty sure maybe the 5-minute 200 was sitting there. There was something else sitting there. 5-minute 21. There you go. 5-minute 21 sitting there. But there was the retest shorts. And then I just let this go to my full TP down here at these lows. Ended up chopping around hella right here. No, but this trade was beautiful. $440 points, no drawdown. And then the day before, also caught 550 points, no drawdown. Tap in. That's all I can say. Tap in. Let's go on to our next trades. But yeah, that was the 15-minute 100, the 1 hour 50, and the 30-minute 100. Basically, it was just a good OTE spot. All the EMAs on bigger time frames were there. And we already displaced how many points off of that shit? 440 points up. I'm gonna take 440 points down. All right, that's how I do it around here. I don't. Once the market gets to a certain point, like again with these shorts, I wasn't gonna try and hold it past these lows. I mean, we're down 550 points. It was just one of those days where I could have held it for 800 points, but again, like once you move 500 points in a direction, usually, if there's a reason for it to reverse, it will reverse. All right, that's something that I look out for a lot, and it tends to work. Now, what were these longs off of? Yes. Oh my gosh, you don't even understand. I should be in at the very bottom. So this right here, this whole reversal and that we haven't came back down to is I've been waiting for this reversal for months, and I knew it was going to happen at daily 200. Daily 200, right? So if you know, the 200 is the best indicator, right? Or the best EMA. I wanted this daily 200. I've been waiting for this daily 200 since we're sitting up here chopping on the daily. I was like, all right, I want to break down, tap daily 200, and then daily 200 brings it to all-time highs, right? This is what happened. We hit the daily 200 at like 4:50 p.m. So for one, I can't even trade at 4:50 p.m. because I'm trading prop firms, but I'm not on a live account. And then for two, oh, also, I know I'm completely bad at switch what I was gonna say, but I want to show you these shorts that I also caught. Oh, I didn't catch them, but I called them out. It was 886 in the whole range. Let's speed this up a little bit. Because there was FOMC going on. Yeah, here's the move. I called out these shorts because there was FOMC going on, and I knew it was about to do some fucking fuck shit. I already knew price was about to do some fuck shit. Anyway, I called out 28,100 to the Discord. It was 886 of this whole range. It was a sweep of this, what was it, a 4-hour high? Sweep this 4-hour high, tap 0.886, and then reverse off of it. Now, I only didn't take this because of how fast price action was because of FOMC, and we were also rejecting off the daily 100 here. Not the daily 100. What was it? I thought it was the... Yeah, no, it was the daily 100, wasn't it? No. Hold up, I'm tripping. Yeah, it was the daily 9 EMA. I'm pretty sure. This move. I wanted these longs. This was the daily 9 EMA. And I was thinking that the daily 9 might just take it like way higher. Or if it doesn't want to break this high, 0.886 will play after this sweep. That's why I called that 0.886 out. 0.86 ended up playing for 700 points, 1,000 points in my face, and I couldn't even take it. And then we tapped the daily 200 at fucking... Look, 4 p.m. we tapped the daily 200. I'm like, fuck. Okay. So this is what I called out to the Discord when I was watching this. I said, previous day low sweep, long the fuck out of it. Because sweep previous day low off market open, 6 p.m., and then daily 200 take it higher, right? This is what happens. I had a buy limit sitting right here. Literally right under the low. Targeting fucking FOMC highs. Like dead ass. Sitting at buy limit sitting right under. Market opens. What is even that? Right? Hits the daily 200 again, and then we go. Doesn't want to sweep previous day low. That was frustrating. But yeah, I ended up catching little longs right here off this 21 tab. Yeah, that was unfortunate. That's the reason price is reversing, though, if you didn't know. The daily 200. I've been wanting those longs for months. But yeah, I'll go ahead and go over this trade. Gosh, this was terrible. This was annoying.